Well, Dobbo finishes 3-2, nearly nicked a point at the death. Just give us your assessment of the performance.
Yeah, I thought first half we were a little bit too pedestrian with the ball, a little bit slow in the way that we played, not purposeful enough, which I said at half time. We concede within 5 minutes, and we give ourselves a bit of a mountain to climb. You know, we're playing the MK Dons game then rather than ours, and you're always worried about getting hit on the counter attack. The response in the second half, beginning of the second half, was excellent, and the disappointing thing is, in our good spell, we concede. If we'd have scored it then, we'd have had our tails up. It would have been a totally different game. But unfortunately, we've given away a really sloppy second goal when we're on top, and it's given them a 2-goal cushion to then be the team that can sit deep and counter-attack. I'm happy with the effort right till the end. We kept going, we created chances. We could have scored 4 or 5 today, but the unfortunate thing is, so could they.
Can you at least take heart from that? The end of the game, the last 10 or 15 minutes that the boys kept going, trying to do the right things, get back on level terms. Can you take some heart from that level of endeavour and spirit?
Yes, I expect that. I take more heart from the beginning of the second half. The first 15 minutes of the second half was really good, and I said to the boys, that's what we are, that's what we should be. We haven't hit them levels in over 90 minutes in recent games, and going behind in the last couple of games has given us we've had to chase the game rather than be in control of it. So we need to start games as we started the second half. We're almost waiting for the opposition to see what they're going to bring to the party, and actually I want us to be the aggressors in the game and us to be the ones that are really putting pressure on the opposition early on.
Positive, said Pum Holden getting his first goal for the club. That must appreciate be a bittersweet feeling for him, but good to get off the mark for him. He's got goals in him. Seb will score. I have no doubt about that. We've missed him. He's been a bit of a loss, and we've had to work him back carefully. But Seb will get goals. He's a poacher. He's got good pace, and it's nice to have him back in the fold. Just finally, from me, what's the overriding emotion in your head as you go home today? What's the overriding, emotion and feeling?
Always disappointed after a defeat. There's areas that I wasn't happy with. The first half I wasn't happy with us. Second half better, but we've got to be tighter, as I've just said to the lads in the dressing room. We've got to be tighter when we're on top. We can't go gung-ho trying to chase a game and then concede when we're right on top in the game, because it was a leg up that they hadn't earned and didn't deserve at that stage. So that was probably the most disappointing thing for me. But we've got another game Tuesday night, and we've got a game on Saturday. It comes around quickly, and we have to take these lessons into the next 2 games.
Dob, I appreciate it. Thank you. Ben, all yours.
As you say, Richard, is that the most annoying thing from your point of view, the fact that the goals you conceded were so preventable, perhaps?
Absolutely. I think the first one comes from, I think it's a mishit shot that ends up turning into a pass, and I think Glenn's got something on it. It's fallen to their player, and I think it was Gailey own goal, was it maybe? Those things happen. You get the chaos of set pieces, and those things can happen. It just happens to fall straight on the fella's foot. But the second one was really disappointing, because we've given the ball away trying to play out, and actually we played forward all through the first period of the second half. We'd been a threat, and then all of a sudden we decided to play short and got ourselves in trouble. And the moment Mendes Lane cut inside, you could see the goal open up, and you thought, this isn't good. So the goals were disappointing. The third one you get just through a counter attack and greater athleticism. I don't know who it was who carried it up the pitch, but he's obviously quick. He's quick, and they brought him down from a higher division for that reason. So when you've given yourselves a mountain to climb and they can hit you on the counter attack, that can happen. That's disappointing.
As you said though, when you started the second half much better than you'd played in that first period, Robbie McKenzie had that chance maybe to make it 1-1, just didn't quite make the contact. If that goes in, different game. Yeah,
I think there were several chances. I think Johnny had a really good chance. There was a couple that sort of bowled around the box, and you're just hoping that someone gets on the end of it. I'm not disappointed in the amount of chances created today. I thought we created a lot. Second half, not enough first half. We didn't put enough pressure on their goal first half, but the attitude second half and the difference in spirit and I keep using the word purposeful. They were much more purposeful in their movement, much more purposeful on the ball, and we saw a far better version of what we are, or what we were, compared to the first half. So I know we've got that in us, and the disappointing thing for me is that I keep saying to the boys, I really think there's more in you than you believe, and it's trying to get that belief into them to go like that for 90 minutes, because if they do, they'll be a hell of a side at this level.
Weirdly, they started to believe at 3-0 down, didn't they, and threw everything at MK were maybe a bit complacent by that point and scored a couple of good goals. Johnny Williams had 2 chances, didn't he, prior to those, and it might have been so different if that late corner when everyone's chucking men forward into the box and it could have rebounded or whatever.
Yeah. At that stage, it's a sort of desperation, the last kick of the game, and you're throwing everybody in there. But the mistakes were made with the earlier misses. If we score one of them, then it's a totally different game at the end. We're not chasing it. We've created chances. We've got to put them in the back of the net in our good spell, and that was probably our downfall today.
So back-to-back defeats is a bit of a reality check, or is it still enough positivity there for you?
No, not a reality check, because we haven't played brilliant and won games in this run, so we know where we are. It's a division where everyone can beat everybody else on their day, and as we saw last week, we saw a very good version of Harrogate, who they probably haven't played like that for some time, and then they come to our place because we're top of the league, and they were good. MK Dons again today. We know they're a good side. They're a top 3 capable side, MK, and I think they'll be there or thereabouts come the end of the season. So there's sort of false positions in the league at the moment. People who are sort of loitering around mid-table that I think will come strong. There might be 1 or 2 that fall away, and we just got to make sure that that's not us.
Just a word on Gareth, who obviously wasn't here with you today. I'd imagine you were thinking about him. Have you heard any more?
Yeah, just that the operation was a success, so that's good news. He's obviously going to be recuperating in hospital over the next few days, so I'll speak to him when he's ready and well enough to talk, but at the moment there's more important things in life than the result sometimes, and I think, as I said to the boys beforehand, this is all about perspective. Life teaches you lessons, and we do this job because we want to. It's not a chore, it's an honour to do it. Gaz has had to go through something that he had no choice over this week, and further down the line it could have been life or death had it not been found. So we've got to see the bigger perspective, bigger picture in it all. Hopefully Gaz is going to recuperate well, and we'll just carry on doing as we do whilst he's recovering.
Sending my best wishes as well. And just on Tuesday, that trophy game, perhaps another opportunity for some young players who did really well in the first game of that competition to shine possibly.
Yes, absolutely. We've got players recovering from injury that we need to give a little bit of match time to, so it will be a different side, but it will be a strong side. We pay respect to the competition, and we have a squad for that reason. So I'm looking forward to Tuesday. I'm looking forward to what we see if we change the side around a little bit, and I'm really looking forward to next Saturday and getting back to Priestfield.
All good for me.
Thank you.
Because Dak and Johnny Smith were missing, weren't they, today from the game? I mean, was that bad injuries or
little niggles? Daki's just carrying something. Johnny might be a little bit longer with his calf, so we'll have to assess that over the next week or so. Obviously disappointing to lose 2 players of that calibre. They give you something different and a little bit of impetus at the top end that MK Dons had today. We might have been able to have that with Johnny's pace off the bench, or Daki's ingenuity. But as I say, it's a squad game, and we trust our players. It was what I told them before the game. I trust you. I trust you all. Someone's disappointment is another person's opportunity. So we'll assess that over the next week. We'll see what happens from today, and then we'll make our decisions over the next couple of games.
In the last few games you've been conceding early. That must be frustrating, always trying to sort of fight back in games. That's not a great sort of position to start games from, is it? Yeah,
exactly what I've just said in the dressing room. We've given ourselves a mountain to climb in the games because of we've conceded early, and we've been pretty watertight over much of the period that we've been in, so we don't want that creeping in. We don't want that laxity creeping in, and that's the big learning to come from today. We see through that first 5 minutes, and then it's probably a very different game, but once you give the opposition a chance to hit you on the counter and to play a little bit deeper and control the game a little bit, the game runs away from you, and we found that all of a sudden we're 3-0 down, and you think probably shouldn't be 3-0 down off the back of that start of the second half. So but it can happen. They were clinical, and as I say, they had a couple more chances that probably a couple too many chances for them today, but we created chances as well, so it was an open game. Just a little bit more clinical than us.
What did you say to them at half time? Because you didn't make any changes, but they seemed to come out fired up and creating chances quite a lot.
Yeah, I said we haven't been purposeful enough. I use that word a lot. We haven't been purposeful enough in our passing, we haven't been purposeful enough in our running. We got caught in sort of passing it across the back, and then everything was static up front, and it doesn't look great. People on the ball don't have an option, and you look like you sort of lost for ideas. And I said to him, we need more purposeful runs. We need to understand where the ball's going when it's in certain areas, which we did. And all of a sudden, we looked a real threat. Movement was better. The passing was crisper. We played in much better areas in the pitch, and we applied pressure. So I want to see that Gillingham side. That's what we're capable of, and I want to see more of it. I don't know why we maybe it's a big pitch here, and it's not a game that you can run for 90 minutes because you've got to take a rest from time to time on a pitch such as this. So maybe we sort of blew ourselves out a little bit in the first half and run too much at the wrong times, our forwards in particular, and then when we did get the ball, we didn't have the legs in us to really hurt them. But much better second half, and we'll be hoping to see more of that as the games progress.
Aaron Rowe, I think, got the assist, didn't he, for Seb's goal. What did you make of him? I think that was his first league start this season.
Aaron's got to get back into the swing of things. He's made good impacts off the bench. It's obviously different when you're coming on in the game than starting, and I'd like to see more of Aaron in more attacking areas. He's a very capable player. You could argue that we didn't get the ball up high enough for long enough sustained spells in the first half to allow him to do what he does in the areas of the pitch that we want him in. But he's got good ability, he's a good player, and he's going to be a very useful player for us going forward.
And you mentioned the Tuesday night game as well. We all saw that Fulham game. It was a great night, especially for the youngsters. Is going to be potentially a few more youngsters in there again this Tuesday?
Yes, yep. I really like our young players at the club. I think we've got a talented group. I love having them around working with the first team, and we do that as often as we possibly can. And I think you'll see a couple more Tuesday night as we try and bed them in with the first team group a little bit more.
Have you sort of planned with Gareth all the games ahead, or is it from now on it's just you yourself sort of picking and choosing as you see fit?
Yeah, these two games we had a bit of a tentative conversation about the other day. Obviously Gaz was fully involved in the planning for this one. We've looked at what Tuesday night could look like, but obviously we'll assess from today and see where we are. And from here on in, it depends on how much contact we have with Gaz and how he's feeling. So maybe he'll get involved in next week if he feels up to it, but we're not going to put any pressure on him to do that. He needs to recover first and foremost, and if that means that we've got to take the reins and make them decisions, then that's fine. No problem.
He's not texted yet.
I haven't seen yet. I haven't looked at my phone yet, so I'm not sure. I don't know what sort of state he's in today, so we'll judge it as we get more news.
All right, thank you very much.
No